Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the showdown between the Empire and the Skaven. It's going to be RTK Extraordinary Life of Felix facing off against Ice Power Total War, Throughout the Unclean against the Mustache Man himself, Volkmar the Grim on the Ogham Shard. Certainly a pretty good map for all of the aquatics creatures here in the realm, as there's pretty much giant swamps on either side. Pretty funny to see lizardmen on this map. Wonder if that's one of the reasons why you don't see it terribly often. I've been, watching a fair amount of tournaments on other folks' channels and even on my own, and I don't really see this map often. Granted, I don't think it's a bad one. Maybe it's just the aquatics trade is kind of annoying. I don't know. A discussion for another day. Now, as far as the build goes for the Sons of Sigmar, it's going to be State Troopers in the front line, pretty standard. Sigmar Sons and Flagellants. Really nice having an unbreakable core against Skaven that'll just kind of, keep getting in there for Sigmar. They can certainly kill the Skaven slaves quite quickly and aren't terribly expensive either. So here we do have great cannons in the back. Going to be double great cannon trying to snipe out mortars, warp lightning cannons, catapults, pretty much all the monstrosities that the Skaven can indeed field. Volkmar the Grim has always been an ace in this matchup. Throughout the Unclean's quite good against him, but nonetheless, Volkmar is, even with Throt chasing him, is really tough to kill, right? He regenerates, he's unbreakable, he can just buckle Skaven formations with a single charge, and his buffs are incredibly strong as well. Triple Pistolier against the Molder monsters, and it looks like here we do have Knights of the Blazing Sun on either side for their shock damage, able to run into those Rat Ogres and really take them down, and some Empire Knights as well. And last but not least, a Firecaster. Pretty good stuff. And now for the Skaven force, it is going to be Skaven Slave Spears all across the entire front line. Secondary line, a couple of Clan Rats, actually. We do have the Pit Fighters, and Pit Fighters certainly a pretty good Rat Ogre choice, mainly because they're actually immune to psychology. So these guys can't be terror-routed by Volkmar, which is really, really nice. Normally, Rat Ogres, once their Frenzy does wear off, they can actually be terror-routed, which is really discouraging for sure. Double Mortar here, so Poison Wind Mortar is going to be unleashing, and Poison Wind Mortar is probably one of the strongest units on the entire roster, so doesn't hurt to have two of them, man. And a Plague Priest. Now for the leadership kit of the Skaven, going to be rocking here with Throughout the Unclean, as well as this Plague Packmaster. I actually just recorded a video on Nurgle stuff, so I was like super in the mind of, Plague this, Plague that. But it is going to be a Packmaster. Now Fireball being overcasted here, going to be going down, a little bit of damage going, and it does hit Throughout the Unclean, doing some big boy damage on him for sure. That took down about, 700, 600 damage, give or take, certainly not bad. And now Throughout and company going to be going in to battle these Sigmar Sons. They should be fine. And honestly, it's mainly just a distraction. And what's really good about this is actually the Skaven player here was able to blob up the two relatively quality Empire infantry units. And single Poison Wind Mortar hitting them both really, really hurts for sure. That's a punch right in the Sigmar right there. So Flagellants and Sigmar Sons continuing to get bombarded. Firecaster kind of lurking overhead, probably preparing to do more fireballs in the head of Throughout the Unclean. State Troopers on the flanks moving up, and cannons appear to be shooting the Poison Wind Mortars. You can see here in the back, these mortars have taken a couple casualties. And here the State Troopers are being attacked by Throughout the Unclean once again. But it looks like a big fireball coming down from right overhead. We'll see if it actually makes contact. Is it going? Okay, it looks like he just blew himself up and didn't shoot the fireball, which certainly hurts. That is not fun. Now here we have Sigmar Sons breaking through these Skaven slaves. Flagellants, of course, being buckled down by Clan Rat Summon. So quite a good usage there of that Plague Priest. But the State Troopers and Volkmar in the middle are routing the Skaven. You can see the Skaven are being pushed back, and the Grand Theogenist himself marches for Sigmar right down the pipe. Well, he's not really doing a lot of marching. He's mainly just standing up there waving his hammer, which is always amuses me about, mounted lords in this game, how they just sit there like, all right, big beast or contraption I'm riding, do all the work while I roar and provide my buffs. Anyways, here, Flagellants continuing to beat down the Clan Rats, of course, getting through the front line and now onto the Clan Rats. And honestly, they could probably win this, even with their tattered state. Knights of the Blazing Sun getting afflicted by the mortars. They do have some magic resist, which helps. And it looks like their charge got partially kind of dropped by something or other, and they do miss their charge there, which is certainly a pretty unfortunate misplay, because they could have buckled those Clan Rat Spears like instantly. But Pistoliers in good shape. Could obviously put a lot of hurt on those Pit Fighters here, but it looks like they're piling in to go after Throughout the Unclean. So Throughout doing a very aggressive dive right here, going after Volkmar, but he's got the Shield of Faith. And also the Knights of the Blazing Sun do bounce in, and that's actually really rough for the Skaven. Though the mortar play is really, really on point. Despite the cannons doing a ton of damage, they're still probably have already paid for themselves. And it looks like, ooh, man, that banishment from Volkmar doing so much damage. And a really good Soulfire Bombardment as well. Help clears off those Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, or at least do some damage to them. But yeah, Pistolier is quite good in this matchup. You can see they're really shooting into those Pit Fighters and buttering their sweet, sweet bread. But the Empire battle line's looking a little bit thin. We got some Flagellants and Spearmen here. We got, 5 Flagellants over here. We have a couple tattered Empire Knights losing to Clan Rats over there. The biggest shame of their lives, I'm sure. But, the cool thing for the Empire's sake is that they do have the 2 Great Cannons. So even if the rest of their army kind of falters, if Volkmar's alive and they have the Great Cannons, they can still certainly win this game using pistoliers and kind of a little bit of kiting. Now for the Skaven, one mortar team appears to have been broken by the cannons. The other one, I think, broken as well. So they're now going to be turning into the aggressor. The Skaven probably going to be the ones having to turn on the gas here and put the pedal to the rat metal here and push forward and really pressure the Empire. And it seems like they're doing a good job of it. Right here, the Bright Wizard being hunted by the Packmaster, and Packmasters are probably one of the better character hunters in the game, or brood horrors in general. Very, very tough to get away from those. And over here we have Volkmar the Grim just being given the business by the Rat Ogre summon of Throt the Unclean, as well as Throt himself. But some brave knights, having suffered defeat at the hands of the Clan Rats, have come, and they actually get a good charge that time and really pummel those Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, giving Volkmar some pretty nice buffering. And the double cannons in the back, it looks like both of the Empire Great Cannons are going after the Rat here. He's getting punished pretty bad, and Pistoliers might be able to chase him, but another devastating mortar shot, and that's what's so crazy about Poison Wind Mortars. Even if there's one freaking model, if it hits, it's going to do a ton of damage with that poison overtime effect, which is incredibly powerful. Yeah, Throt's on the run though, but thankfully for the Skaven, he's running back towards his own troops. So Rat Ogres are here, Packmaster is here. Throt will probably 100% come back from that engagement. And the bounce power is a little bit Skaven favored, but certainly anyone's game. Volkmar is still on the battlefield, and the Empire does have a huge advantage of the artillery. So yeah, honestly, for the Empire here, I think you just want to fall back, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's falling back with his Pistoliers. Volkmar's kind of just skirmishing a little bit with these Clan Rats, and just use your cannons, use all that ammunition to really punish this Skaven force. You could either snipe Throt, you could shoot the Rat Ogres, you could finish off the mortar teams, which I think are back. Yeah, one mortar here, that's crazy. Looks like here we have 3. And I would imagine their value is already pretty damn good. You can see here they have a couple of chevrons on them, which I would imagine they accrued over this battle here. Yeah, you can see rank 2, 1800 value. Man, Poison Wind Mortars are such a goddamn good unit. I think probably one of the strongest units on the Skaven roster. Anyways, cannon's still shooting though, and the Skaven army now will have to be the aggressor. I mean, they could try and weather the storm, and I really like this play here by the Skaven, utilizing what haggard pieces of terrain they have here, and Throt's hiding behind this abandoned church, yeah, just kind of chilling here, or whatever that is. It looks like it's some sort of a chapel to something or other. Probably fall into some disrepair, perhaps some old gods were worshipped there. That's a lore tidbit for another time. But the Empire Troopers, we have 71 Spearmen, we have 38 right here. Aside from that, not too many Troopers left. Some Knights of the Blazing Sun, and a fair amount of cavalry and mobility for the Empire, which could be very problematic for the Skaven army. But a little bit of an overextension from the Pistoliers does lead to a couple of them being dragged down by Throt, as well as the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep. Certainly not a good feel for them. And now the Empire Knight's going to be surging forward while the Great Cannon shoot in. And the Skaven Mortar is still raining some hot fire here. But again, both cannons are online. The reserve Spearmen now moving up to engage in this fight here. And the Pit Fighter is probably not going to have the greatest of times here. Unless there's like mortar follow-up, it looks like the Empire should do fine here. The Shield of Faith is active, so the Empire Knights also have the Grand Hammer of Sigmar. So that's a lot of tankiness, a lot of stopping power there for the Empire, but a nice Plague Monk summon, really, really good one there, is going to be buckling down these State Troopers. And also a very good response from the Empire, using the Soulfire Bombardment to nail off some of those Clan Rats that are advancing. But Volkmar the Grim stands alone! King Volkmar stands alone! And the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, pretty close to breaking, but this is why they're so good, right? Any other Rat Ogre at this point would have actually terror-routed, but those bad boys are staying the course, and they're doing the Horned Rat proud, to say the least. Now, both Great Cannons still going. If the Great Cannons can get some good fire, maybe kill Throt, do a bunch of lethal damage to the Packmaster, that certainly gives the Sons of Sigmar a way back in this game, because currently it looks like it's a little bit advantageous here for the Skaven. Although I don't know what these Pistoliers are doing, perhaps going on vacation, but yeah, they could maybe go back here, although it looks like the Mortars have pretty much used all their ammo, except the one mortar that's earned 3 frickin' chevrons that has 1 model left. Absolute insanity, man. Here comes the Knights of the Blazing Sun, certainly going to be pretty important here. Knights of the Blazing Sun with their fire damage. Very efficient against the Packmaster and Brood Horror-esque monsters in general. And Throt takes an unfortunate leap right into the Knights of the Blazing Sun, and a huge amount of cannon fire coming in, punishing Throt. Oh man, he's got to be breaking here. Creature Killer's active, which does give him ITP, not that that matters, because he, of course, causes terror himself. But Throt's in a little bit of trouble, man. That bounce of power is ebbing, and the thing is, Volkmar, with like 800 HP, could probably solo this entire Skaven infantry army. He is so good against infantry. His weakness, of course, is monstrous units here, like Throt the Unclean. And Throt is shattered, man. Throt is shattered. Both cannons. Oh, no. One got taken offline by some very sneaky Rat Ogres. And now there's just one cannon. Volkmar the Grim being hunted by the Packmaster. But Throt is gone. He is out of the picture here. Now, could this be some weird point of no return thing? It looks like the Empire is very, very close to army losses here. They have a couple Spearmen in the back, some Spearmen here. Volkmar the Grim is running from this Packmaster, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He does do fire damage. Shot Caller active, giving melee attack and leadership to this Rat Boy, and it looks like the cannons are shooting into its back. It's down to 7 leadership for a moment. Negative 23, and the Packmaster can now be breaking as well. Volkmar just being an absolute pimp here. 500 HP, it looks like the Packmaster is going to be broken, and now, yeah, negative 27. Probably just keep shooting that guy with your cannon, man. And maybe he'll just run off the battlefield, because if something's being shot by artillery, oftentimes it just simply won't come back. And Volkmar does have probably enough in his healing cap to get over 1,000 HP. But Rat Ogres are coming back. If that cannon goes offline, that could be army losses for the Empire, because there is a metric shit ton of Skaven around. Skaven slaves, clan rats, you definitely need some buffering for them. And now the Rat Ogre is going to be charged by Pistoliers and Spearmen. Volkmar the Grim actually killing the Plague Priest as well. He's getting run over by the Spokes of Sigmar. The Grand Hammer is active, and the Shield of Faith. And it looks like the Empire is creeping back on the Balance of Power. This would probably be one of the biggest potential comebacks I've had on the channel in quite some time if the Empire is able to bring this one back. They are creeping back to the middle for sure. Kind of out of the danger zone. Oh my god, and the Soulfire does so much damage. It melts the Clan Rats as well as the Skaven slaves. And now the cannon is back. Oh my god, what a game. What an excellent match. Now here in the back, we do have that one Poison Wind Mortar. Looks like he's earned 3 chevrons. He's waddling here. The hero of the Horned Rat. He shall forever go down in the history books, I'm sure. And now it looks like Pistolier is going to be used to chase these guys off, which is certainly smart. And the Great Cannon is shooting once again. Now, it needs to rip some fat shots into that Packmaster. That Packmaster is like the only thing here that can deal with Volkmar. I mean, there are a couple Rat Ogres and things like that, but it's going to be close. Will the Poison Wind Mortar come in and accrue a lot more value? Probably so. It's at -2 leadership. Okay, it shatters. I was like, there's no way in a lore perspective that like a single Skaven would bravely run back like that. He would totally be fleeing. I mean, unless he thought there was something in it, like he could maybe take out Volkmar and get like the credit for it, but there's no way that any Skaven superior would let him get the credit. They would definitely just take him out. So here we have Clan Rat Spears. They're shaken and stirred. They're running for the cannon. Balance of Power is like right back in the middle, which is insane. And the cannon crew is going to be detaching while some Pistoliers collapse, and the Packmaster is now making his way back in. So this Packmaster here, pretty clutch for sure. If he can get back on Volkmar, that'll be very good. But Volkmar isn't alone. He's got a ton of spears, too. And the Packmaster does jump into the spears. Could potentially terror route them. And takes a little bit of damage, but Volkmar piles in on his Volkswagen. And now the Great Cannon crew being attacked by these Rat Ogres from the flank. The Pit Fighters, which are at -17, so it looks like they're just going to shatter. So they came in and punched one last State Trooper in the face and then decided to flee. Now we have Volkmar with 1,400 HP, so he was able to reach his healing cap this game. And the Empire Spearmen getting some nice poke and stroke here on that Clan Rat, while Volkmar the Grim cycle charges, which is pretty hilarious, and he does also do fire damage. So, like I said, if the Packmaster breaks or shatters, that could be a disaster for the Skaven. There's still a fair amount of State Troopers who are steady, and they do, of course, have their Lord, who's very encouraging. Has some nice ores, and look at this! The Empire's pulling back on the Balance of Power! Absolute lunacy! Grand Hammer of Sigmar is active, giving these Spearmen an unholy amount of melee attack. They're at 45, which is pretty close to Chaos Chosen. And yeah, the Clan Rats are running for the hills, and I think this could be it. Oh my god, let's do a little bit of fast forwarding. I just can't wait. So Volkmar's on the hunt. It looks like the Empire Great Cannon is going to be back online. Oh, but the Balance of Power is creeping back to the middles. All the Skaven stuff is rallying here, but will the Packmaster come back is the question. It looks like he's in the Shadow Realm. Packmaster is officially off the edge of the battlefield, and that is going to be an Empire victory. That is one of the most insane comebacks we've had in quite some time, and also big props to Ice Power Total War for sending in a loss. Not a lot of people do that, and Ice Power has been killing it in multiplayer lately. That was a really, really good game for sure. So Volkmar's value, 3,800, absolute beast. Pistoliers all got, wow, over 1,000 on a couple of those. Great Cannons, 1,500 and 1,600. Throt himself kind of got shut down by that, but the Packmaster still got 2,200, and Mortars obviously are always insane. 2,000 here almost, and 1,500 here. Really, really good stuff on those guys. But yeah, that was a really fun game. Very well played to Extraordinary Life of Felix and Ice Power Total War. Hope to have those guys on the channel again. And until next time, my friends, you stay safe and hopefully enjoyed this epic battle of battles. See you guys and take care.